Yo, what's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine.
And I am still James.
And thanks for checking out the stream. We are going to we're going to have an epic review for you guys we're going to stick to our theme where we're going to do, we're still doing bad superhero movies. And today we're doing Blade Trinity. Is it bad as we remember, or is it better over time? We will let you know. And we got a couple of trailers to talk about, and we're gonna do Lovecraft Country episode 7. But before we do all that, we got an intro. All right, we have returned. Okay. All right, man. So we're going to start with this review, man. We got Blade Trinity, which is the third installment in the Blade franchise. Was one of my favorites, was the original Blade. Kind of kick-started the whole superhero genre for Marvel. I mean, I think it was like superhero movies have always been in the works, like in the, maybe not even the production phase, but in the, we want to do this phase, we want to do that phase. Because I was hearing they had a Spider-Man they was talking about doing. This is years before the 2002 one.
Because even Blade was part of this whole Marvel Knights thing that they wanted to do, so they wanted to get some of the darker, less heroic Marvel characters out there. So I think back in the day they were talking about doing Blade. I had heard they were talking about trying to get something Moon Knight out, some stuff like that.
Yeah. I know that Wesley Snipes was actually going to be Black Panther.
Yes.
And because they was already in the works to try to make that happen back in the 90s. I was like, okay, that's cool. I don't know what fell apart on that, because Wesley Snipes actually became a pretty big action star.
Yeah.
Before this came out, and before the first Blade even came out, and so he had a name, and I know he was looking to do like superhero movie, and of course they wasn't going to race swap like any major superheroes. Right. Like, so they weren't going to be like, oh, Blade could be Batman or something. I mean, so Wesley Snipes could be Batman or something. So, I mean, they was just looking for a superhero vehicle to put Wesley Snipes under. And since the Black Panther didn't fall through, Blade came about. And that was a damn good movie. I love that movie. One of my favorites at the time. And, of course, being already a fan of Wesley Snipes doing his action, it just all worked together or whatever. So they had part 2, which was good, too. I kind of went back and watched part 2. It wasn't as good as I remember. I remember really, really thinking it was the bomb. A lot of that CGI did the bomb.
Yeah.
I don't know, nobody's talking about that. Nobody say the bomb anymore. But anyway, that shit was dope.
Look, we already going retro, so let's stick with it.
Right. Anyway, it was dope, and I remember, but when I went back and watched it, some of that CGI didn't hold up to me.
The CGI gets pretty sketchy in that second movie. Yeah. And that was one thing I did notice in this one was, like, they did improve the CGI. They learned their lesson from the CGI in the second one.
They used it a little more sparingly, and it wasn't, it just nothing looked like so fake that it was just jumped out at me. You know what I'm saying? What they used with the CGI they used was like, okay, that's cool. Like when they fall to the ground, kind of explode or whatever. Yeah. But it don't be too fake, So it worked. So we got the third one, and this came out 2004. This is after Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, we're after Spider-Man. Okay. And after Spider-Man got so popular, they just started greenlighting all these other superhero movies. They was like, well, we already got Blade, so let's make another one, which kind of, it fell into that genre where around like 2002 to like 2006, 2006 maybe.
Yeah.
We had a slew
Oh, yeah,
of
there was
superhero
tons of
movies,
them, like-
and they kind of didn't even know how they wanted to do them.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying?
And it was pretty obvious. I think that sort of zeitgeist of superhero, / comic book movies, where folks were just throwing stuff to the wall and seeing what would stick. So we get stuff like that first Fantastic Four, which is a hit and miss movie, but we get some good ones. We get Ghost Rider,
Yeah.
and so it was a bit of a mixed bag.
And they had stuff like Hellboy came out around that time, but then they also started to greenlight all these little fantasy movies like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Helsing, is that Van Helsing? I guess
Van Helsing,
yeah, Van Helsing. Like a lot of that started to come out at this time. Excuse me, and I could tell it was a time where they was always trying to keep these movies PG-13, and I can't. This wasn't PG-13 though, was it? I think it might have been. That might have been a problem. Was this PG-13?
It shouldn't have been, but it might have been.
I'm just trying to think. Was there something on there that really made me say, "Oh, no way it could be PG-13"?
It can't.
They did have somebody get decapitated, didn't they? Nobody really. It was everybody ashed.
Yeah,
right?
Like the most graphic thing you see is a couple of people get stabbed.
Yeah, but is it a lot of? It ain't like blood, like the bloodbath. So I want I got to double check because that might have changed everything because the studios say, hey, we got to go PG-13 to get the kids in. I think that's kind of because Blade, albeit a superhero property, was very dark and was very graphic, and they started off with having blood rave on the original Blade.
I mean, it's probably one of the most infamous scenes in comic book movie history.
Yeah, and nobody dared to do that in no newer properties. But studios always going to go with the money, so they don't care about, you know what I'm saying? They don't care about
artistic integrity.
Yeah, it's what makes more money? PG-13, more kids will go see it. But see, Blade is not as appealing to younger kids. You can't.
Well, because Blade is the same thing. It has the same.
It's like a gothic kind of.
It's a modern gothic horror type thing.
Yeah.
And similarly to something like Deadpool, your kids shouldn't be watching it anyway. So why do we care about them in this conversation?
Mm-hmm.
Making a movie like that rated PG-13 is basically saying, yeah, we're willing to get money off of kids watching stuff we know they're not supposed to be watching.
Yeah, I mean, of course they don't give a damn about none of that.
Right. True.
Okay, so this dropped, and I feel like it was a victim of we got to make it PG-13. We got to make it marketable for kids. We got to sell toys, all that stuff,
and also we can't just stop at 2.
Yeah,
like I feel like movies like this, either the second one sucks or the second one is great, so they make a third one that then sucks.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be something in a franchise that suffers from sequelitis.
Yeah. Okay. So this finally dropped. I'm sorry, finally. Well, this came out, like I said, in the middle of them trying to figure out how this superhero genre is gonna go. Like, should we stay true to the comics, or should we incorporate comic book characters into real life by changing their outfits, taking stuff that they had in the comics and just making it just resemble that with some real, stuff on it,
I mean, it was definitely like you could see the experimentation, trying to figure out how, like, the web pattern on the spider suit in Spider-Man, and with something like Blade, trying to figure out just how much, how to give him a superhero look.
Right. It all worked on Blade, where he had the bike, his guns. It's not regular guns. It's not a regular bike. He got a sword with a trench coat. It's something somebody could wear without being like spandex. It all worked.
And that was one of the things that actually drew me to Blade in the first place, which is there ain't no cape, there ain't no mask, there's no shiny spandex.
Yeah,
this dude looks like he came to kill shit and then ride out.
Yeah, and he, he comes in the middle of the night and fight. He don't be out in daytime,
right? With his shades on.
Yeah. So anyway, so let's talk about this movie, Blade Trinity. Now this is the third installment in the Blade franchise, and right now, like you said, they said, "Well, we got Blade. Let's make a third one." They didn't have that much of a story. Now, from what I heard from the behind the scenes, a lot of stuff went wrong. They had a story, they had a script ready, and they had to change it because of differences between the director and Wesley Snipes. Where Wesley Snipes didn't even want to finish it. He wouldn't come out on the set or all this stuff I was hearing. And of course, I mean, you can't make this without him.
Right.
So I don't know what the problem was, and I'm not just gonna say, Wesley Snipes, he's a bad guy. He didn't want to do this because we don't know what's going on.
Right.
That,
and I hear stories like that, and my immediate question is, what was it they wanted to put in this that he just wouldn't do?
Yeah.
Because it's either something that's out of character, so as an actor, he said the character wouldn't do this, so we're not putting it in the movie.
And he created this character for real.
This franchise would have been. You couldn't have just snatched him out and then put somebody else in for the sequel.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. So either something the character wouldn't have done, or something that he personally couldn't sign off on. Mm-hmm. Or at the very least, it was something demanding that it just couldn't happen. So I'm curious to know what kind of thing, caused that divide, that difference of opinion. Because whenever that happens on a set, it's almost always something that either plainly the person who's disagreeing should say, no, you was right, I should have done that. Or it's something so off the wall that you can't even wrap your head around someone asking for it.
Yeah, agreed. So let's talk about this movie narratively, okay?
Sure.
So we got Wesley Snipes, we got Blade. Okay, he had his mentor, Whistler. He died in the first one. Clearly, it was no way to bring him back. And somehow they brought him back on some BS where, they turned into a vampire. Like, wait, hold on. They specifically said in the first movie, if you remember, he said, go ahead, turn me. And he's like, I ain't going to turn you. I'm just going to beat you to death. So they basically beat him to death without biting him.
Yeah.
So you specifically seen they didn't bite him. He got beat so bad that he had dying from his wounds.
Yeah.
And Blade gave him the gun so he can shoot himself. So, and that was a big moment in that first movie. And they cheated by bringing him back in the second movie.
The first thing you get to see in the second movie is him going to get Whistler back. And I was so disappointed in that.
Like, how you just going to ignore one of your major plot points that you did in the first movie that drives Blade? There's no way you could bring back Whistler, but they did.
And one of my problems with that is you give Blade a reason to branch out at the end of that first movie.
Yeah.
Now he has to start going and accepting help when he needs it.
Right. Which is a big part of this movie.
Yeah.
And so he's still with Whistler, and then they he's still with Whistler, and this is not the scene I was looking for. Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot about this crap. Anyway, all right. He's still with Whistler, and they doing what they do. They hunt down vampires. And I kind of like how that movie just picked up right where they kind of left off with Blade just annihilating vampires.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the things that one of the strengths of this kind of character, which is they're never out of the action. It's not like watching a Spider-Man movie where you had to spend 30 minutes watching Peter Parker go through his day before he puts the suit on. It's not like
sequel. You should start off with action. That's what I believe.
Yeah. Yes. We don't need exposition. It's the second or third movie. We
already know what he's about.
Yeah.
Put me right in where he on a mission or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's how you should do sequels.
We don't need the hi. My name is Barry Allen. And, we don't need. We know why.
I'm Oliver Queen.
Yeah.
So they got this beginning scene where he just it's kind of dope, man. So I'll play a little bit of this. so that's badass.
Hey, look, that is how you introduce a badass, okay? Like that ain't no. There's no.
Got people running on
exposition.
fire.
There ain't no. So this is Blade, and he does no.
Yeah,
You just show him doing his thing, man.
and no mercy on these.
First off, I do want to say that dude flew hella off of that explosion.
I don't even know how they.
And then like the thud when he lands.
Yeah,
Like this, great sound design on that alone.
So without exposition, we got everything we need to know about Blade. He annihilates vampires, not hunt them down and put them to rest. No, he destroys these.
And also, there is no. It's so impersonal, and so personal at the same time.
Yeah,
it's just no. This is what I do. I annihilate, and because that's the word for it. He annihilates vampires.
Yeah. It's so right from the beginning they pick up where they left off with the action. Wesley Snipes on point with this action, man, and I thought I had the scene where he had the little. Okay, yeah, that's it right here. The scene right here where he got the little. So he come up with new little weapons and stuff.
The yo-yo knife.
So he always add his own little thing to it.
So this is one of the things I really like about having a guy like Wesley Snipes playing Blade, because Blade is from the comics a very taciturn character. He doesn't emote a lot.
Right. It's always serious and mad.
Yeah. And so with Wesley Snipes, you get someone who can step out of that just enough without breaking character.
But
also, he told you everything you need to know in that scene. One, he's never used this before. Also, he will be using it again. He likes this.
Exactly.
Like there didn't need to be a 5-minute discussion on this is some nice gear that Wesley made.
This sword, this do this and this do that, and then I don't need to foreshadow. Just use it, you know. So yeah, it's the action will get you in, and it's like the special effects when they Ash. Whatever, that's a dope ass effect.
I actually really love the way they do that. Like I've loved it in every Blade movie, but this one especially, because I've watched enough scenes like it that I can see how they're doing it.
How many vampire movies? This is the first. I think this is the first vampire movie I've seen where they might have done it after this, but before this, have you seen anyone kind of explode then Ash? You know, they kind of you know what I'm saying? They kind of like in spontaneous combust or something, and then turn to ash.
Because I remember watching Buffy, and it's like the second they die, they just fall into a pile of ash.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's always been.
And that's the way it's always been. It's like watch that, like their death is a violent reaction.
Yeah,
like it doesn't matter how they die. Like sometimes he does just blow them up, but it's like when they die, it's like some of them is like a few sparks, some embers, and then some of them, like if they die violently enough, they just boom.
Yeah, usually they go flying somewhere.
Yeah,
and then they hit, and then they just kind of ash. He just
like even a couple of them, you see them like kind of set a little fire where they fall, man. Like it's awesome.
On point, man. So I had a lot of people say how this is such the worst Blade. I'm like, this is the least Blade, but it's some good stuff here.
Yeah.
And it's not as bad as some of the other bad superhero
movies. I would go so far as to say, like, one of the great things about this movie is that most of the bad things in this movie are writing.
Writing, and I think carrying your story past just having your good character.
Yeah. But on the technical side, this is an actually surprisingly well-made movie.
Yeah, you thought you was gonna watch some crap, right?
Yeah, like I was like, all right, let me, because like I remember watching this movie and knowing it was the worst of the 3 movies.
Yeah. Then you got caught up in the storm of saying how bad it was.
Yeah.
Where everybody, it's so bad, it's so bad. People start to jump on the bandwagon when somebody else said that's known for that, so I'm just saying it too.
And so like I think this movie and like a lot of these movies we've done for these retro reviews, reminds of the difference between a bad movie and a movie that is not as good as expected. One, this has this suffers from being a sequel. So you're already coming in to watch this because of a movie you've already seen and liked. So it has to live up to that.
Okay, I didn't know we was talking for that long, but let's kind of go more on the storyline.
Right.
Blade, I'm sorry. So we're gonna have to have a villain, right? And so they go wake up. So we got some vampires, right? What's her name?
Danica Talos.
Okay, so what's the actress name?
Parker Posey.
Okay, she's known. Is she known for like? She ain't like she known for anything else besides acting?
Not that.
Okay, so I just remember her from Waterboy.
Yeah.
She was Vicky Valancourt. But anyway, she got this look where she kind of look a little. She's not bad looking, but she got a unique look, right?
Yeah. That's a very diplomatic way to say it.
And so. The vampires always some generic whatever, but they go wake up the vampire, Dracula. This is stupid. I think it's gonna be stupid.
Yeah.
But let's just say he's not Dracula. They just call him Dracula. He's actually somebody else that they call Dracula, or the Dracula story came from. That's basically wasn't that the kind of?
I think that's kind of what they were going with, was like, because like even in the comics, like there's a couple different Draculas in Marvel comics.
Yeah.
It's like Vlad Dracula is one of the Draculas, and then there's characters like this Dracula who's like an antecedent to the myth, kind of set up the storyline.
So they got this plan where they was gonna set Blade up. Why they need to do this, I don't know. He killed his words, 1,000 and something many people.
1,823.
And these ain't vampires. Those
are people.
They're all familiars, but they were people. So what difference was this one make? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like, because that was the thing that got me, was like when they got him in interrogation.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna get to that just a second. Because I want to talk about this, because this one scene just always stuck with me.
Yeah.
Where the guy...
This is one of my favorite scenes in this movie, by the way.
So the guy they try to use to set him up was some dude they got that was human that they didn't turn, and so when he thought he was killing the vampire, he killed the human or whatever.
Yeah.
When I was like, okay, he killed familiars anyway, so he don't give a shit. So this is we got this on tape. This dude really talking like he really did something. So hold on.
Staked you with silver. Why aren't you ash?
Why aren't you smarter? Not a vampire. Dumb shit!
Okay. You on the ground dying. How's he a dumb shit?
Like, you agreed to this.
And you gonna call him a dumb shit.
I would also like to shout out TNT, because
what they change it to?
So they changed it to...
they did dubbing.
And they have the worst dubbing for censoring I've ever seen.
What did they say?
Not a vampire. Drumstick!
Okay.
But like, I love that dude has the supreme smugness.
Right. And this
lying on the ground.
look probably would have been perfect.
Like, just that, go figure.
So, I mean, who cares? Whatever. That's kind of what the plot is, because this is like a comic plot they had where Blade actually got caught by the FBI for killing somebody or stuff.
But like, even in the way they tell this story in the movie, it's clear the FBI is already looking for him.
Yeah, right. They've been trying to catch him for a long time. So this is the proof they need.
Yeah. We finally got.
So every time he didn't trash, stuff and make all this.
He's not subtle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, y'all the worst FBI. Y'all couldn't find him.
Like, just from what we've seen him do watching the movies, which clearly isn't all like the peak of what he's done. There's no way you couldn't find this dude.
Yeah. So anyway, now he's in custody, but they turn around and get they wake up Drake, as we said. or Dracula, but he called himself Drake. They wake up Drake, as we said, and now he's getting accustomed to the new world or whatever. Let me see if I can find this scene.
Like, why is this scene even in the movie?
I guess just to waste a little time, whatever. But, so we got played by Dominique Parcells. That's your villain. And, they got the scene he walking down the street. And they playing the RZA.
Dominic Purcell looking like a Persian mobster.
Yeah, it's like okay.
Got his shirt. His shirt has always only got one button done. With his leather pants.
And he walk into a vampire shop where that dude eating Count Chocolate cereal. Like, okay.
Though I do love in the credits they have both of these characters from the vampire shop. They're goth wannabes.
Okay.
That's the goth guy wannabe and goth vixen wannabe. That's their character names.
That works.
Just so you know, don't play this too well. These two are posers.
And I'm thinking I'm glad he ate their ass because
well, he ate her. The homeboy got thrown through a window.
Yeah. Which
I kind of wanted to do watching the scene.
But no, okay. So that's your plot. They wake up Dracula. They like, we need you to kill Blade. You already got him.
Yeah.
You got him in the police station, hemmed up. Why you need Drake?
Well, so the way I interpreted this was finding Dracula was the plan with finding Dracula was so they could get his DNA so that they could be Daywalkers.
Daywalk, yeah. I mean,
and
that's
they
also,
already had their master plan to get Blade, and so the two just happened to coincide. So they altered their plans a little bit,
So, okay, it's a stupid plan, of course.
Of course.
But whatever. You get Blade. I mean, you got Drake or whatever. This is going to introduce his supporting cast. And this is, they call the Dark Stalkers.
The Night Stalkers.
Night Stalkers, sorry. This is where Ryan Reynolds come in. And how do you feel about that whole...
I don't know whose idea was to have him play Hannibal King.
Yeah, he's nothing like the character.
Nothing.
But he was a rising star at the time. I think that's why, because, coming off Van Wilder, he got in this great shape and, he had abs and muscles popping out everywhere. He was going to be a superhero. It just matter who. And they got him as Hannibal King where he can add his style of humor.
Who really was more like Whistler in the comics.
What's that?
Hannibal King, he's like a younger version of Whistler.
Yeah, where he's like a serious, he was a vampire that didn't want to be a vampire, and he was helping him. And I think that they make up Abigail for the movie?
They made her up, yeah.
Okay. So instead of having Whistler, they had Whistler's daughter, played by Jessica Biel. She's fine. That's what I can say.
I will say, for a chick to pretend to do some action, I wish Scarlett Johansson would be in that kind of shape to play Black Widow. To actually look like she can do some stuff.
Right. She didn't do a bad job. It's just on the movie.
There's not a lot. That's the problem. There's not a lot there, so there's not much for her to do.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is what I didn't like. So, she fighting vampires hand to hand.
Yeah.
And
easily.
Yeah. And, she got this little knife boot. She just killing vampires. If vampires this easy to kill, where's the threat?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get that some of them are functionally mooks, but that works when you're using Blade because he's on their level. So you have a guy with vampire strength and superior skills taking out randos who just happen to be vampires. It's fine.
He said randos.
Yeah. But then you have some regular humans with a little bit of training.
Yeah, right. You can train, the way they did this, we don't need Blade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they made vampires beatable, and I thought that's a mistake. The whole point of Blade being strong as vampires because they so stronger than humans that you eventually. You couldn't stand up to one, even if you was a better fighter than.
Well, because I would even point out a really good series is like the Underworld series, where they basically let you know like there's some vampires that vampires can't fight hand to hand.
Yeah, they got this scene in here that's really funny, man. They got these teenagers.
Oh God, this scene, yeah.
And they just walking up the bill. Well, let's eat this guy. Let's eat this guy. People just like trying to mind their own business. I don't see how somebody would not call the cops on these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, really? They just really ridiculous, over the top. But okay, maybe you could say since these guys teenage punks, she can beat their ass. But it's just the fact that okay, if they vampires.
Like
they need to be
5 vampires on one normal human, though.
Yeah, right. And she just whooping their ass, Whatever. I was gonna show a little bit of this of her fighting them. That was kind of funny with the.
And I do have to say she got some Charlie's Angels moves.
What's that mean?
Like just like the half-ass kung fu.
Okay. Yeah. Let's take a look at it.
Fuck you.
I do love that
she caught him by surprise, right?
I do love that one of them was going to run.
Okay, so I give her the dude she caught by surprise, other dude, whatever. It's 4 of them, and it's 2 guys she just gonna square up with and take them out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
but like also it's like they treat her like she's on their level.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. That's a mistake.
It's like the vampires that Jessica Biel and Ryan Reynolds fight in this movie act like they can do damage just throwing hands.
I know. That's the problem. That's inconsistent, That's why Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Buffy is stronger or faster than humans. That's why she can fight vampires. A regular human, you either have to use some tricks or a lot of weapons, but you can't, without weapons, fight a vampire. That's the point.
Yeah.
So they kind of messed up their own self with that. But I thought Jessica Biel didn't do a bad job. It's just they gave her really nothing to do.
Also, if you're going to set someone up as a long-range fighter, don't have every fight they're in be hand-to-hand. Just a little narrative.
Yeah, that's their whole thing. She got this bow and arrow, and that was kind of like her thing, but she rarely used it.
she
ain't good with it, because when I saw scenes where she did the bow and arrow, I ain't gonna say she ain't good with it, but she like take forever. Like it was this guy shooting at her, and she like. It's like, well, hold on, because you got to do that faster than that.
Even if the tension on that bow was extremely high,
it wasn't that. She just didn't do it fast enough.
Watching her,
like she really was aiming.
Watching her pretend to aim.
Maybe she was trying to aim for real or something. Because this what happened. They were shooting at her, but her quiver blocked the bullets. They bounced off her quiver or whatever, her bow. I'm sorry, they bounced off her bow. And damn, y'all some bad shooters.
And the whole time
the places to shoot, y'all shoot that one little spot in the middle where her bow is at. Okay.
And the whole time she's drawing. The whole time.
All right. So anyway, we got the Night Stalkers, and I really love this scene when Blade meet the Night Stalkers because he go off on their ass. He go off on their ass like, y'all ready to roll with this? What is this?
Was that supposed to be tactical?
Is that right? It's joke. Y'all a bunch of kids. Like, he went off on them for real.
Though, to be fair, Hannibal King did also immediately show him his fucking tramp stamp.
What? Oh. Why did they put that there? They put that, like, in a real awkward, like...
So that Ryan Reynolds could throw something out there for the
guess.
Soccer moms.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a weird place to put a... They've never seen none of the... There's always, like, on the hand, back of their neck.
I guess it's because he was a boy toy,
Yeah, I guess that's what they were saying. Whatever. Anyway, basically, you got Wesley Snipes working with this group. And the movie just kind of stopped right there.
Yeah.
Because they got this montage after that where it's kind of doing some detective work. He kind of teaching them how to be a detective and chase down the leads and find. And that's what they was doing. But they did it in like a montage, a daytime montage that was like okay, well, it's like this a movie,
Yeah.
but all right, that's not really where I was like really lost me. But so I hate when they broke out of the little jail. I mean, when they broke Blade out.
Yeah.
Why the hell when the police cars come up, some guy pull up in a camper, they all hop in there and they drive off and the cops don't chase them? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, "Whoa, I'm your ride, y'all." They all jump in the car.
They even tried to make it out like this thing was like an APC or something. Like it bowled through a couple of cop cars.
Okay, right, but why didn't they chase him? But not only that, is this thing faster than every other car? Anyway,
The whole movie scuffed.
okay, so yeah, so after that the movie just turned into the same old stuff. And I think that's where the problem started off the set.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like we ain't got nothing, we just gotta finish this. You know what I'm saying? And I can see it. I can see all those problems happening. With goddamn commercials. Anyway, I see all those problems happening because there was nothing else happening after that, and then you just kind of cut to your end fight scene.
Well, because like that's what happens is like anytime you get a decent string of like no substance scenes, you know that the reason for it is because they didn't have nothing.
Yeah, and you cut to your end fight scene, and what you think of that, man?
It's not the worst choreography I've seen.
Yeah, it was too bad.
You know, it's just I would have liked better.
Yeah,
but I can take it.
Um,
I love the dialogue of that scene.
Right, and that's Blade, ready to die.
Like it's such a I don't want to say it's a great scene because it's an okay scene, but it just hits for me.
Well, yeah, you know what? That's why I said this movie actually was not bad. It just was like not on the scale as the other two.
Yeah,
And I think that's because all the shit that happened behind the scenes. But I'm looking like I feel like if they could have got their shit together, this would have been a great movie to the series.
because like by itself, even with all the problems it has, it's a very enjoyable movie to watch. You know?
Yeah, I enjoyed what I seen on this movie.
Yeah,
And I wasn't too bored. The middle dropped off, but the middle was short.
yeah,
It wasn't a big drop off where I just like, okay, this is done now.
yeah.
So we got our end scene, and what's the name was up to his old gags. You think he was kind of rehearsing for his?
For Deadpool.
Yeah, I mean, because he did his whole, where's the? I forgot what they was trying to get, and I just farted and I ate a lot of garlic, stuff like that.
Yeah. And part of that is like, when they probably hired him, they probably let him know that they was hiring him for his thing. And his thing is that sort of like sophomoric yet somewhat witty humor in the face of really dire situations. Like he's that guy that doesn't take anything seriously. So like he just came in and he did his Ryan Reynolds thing.
Yeah.
And he's kind of filler in this movie. Like the way they use him in the film is as filler.
You got to say at least he didn't steal the show. You know what I'm saying?
But like all he is in this movie is a plot device plus filler. And on that, he works. You need someone to eat up some scenery while you get the real stuff going. Mm-hmm. He's there.
And then you got Jessica Biel. It seems like okay. Where I guess she tried to get more serious. Well, they tried to get a little serious, but it was funny. Where I guess some people, her friends died.
Yeah.
And you got your boy Wesley Snipes like, use it. And it just made me laugh. That scene not supposed to make me laugh, but I laughed my ass off when she just starts screaming and shit. I'm like, okay, then.
Now this is one thing. Like I know it's a nitpick. It doesn't mean anything. But when she's shooting with her bow on the practice range, and that's supposed to be like,
yeah,
one, they keep showing how fast the arrow's moving, which means nothing.
Right.
Like, because like it at best she's upping the
She
tension
take
on
too
her
damn
bow.
long to pull it back. You
Like,
know, that's my whole problem.
It's like if your whole thing is you're fighting vampires, you do not get to just, especially if you're never going to shoot from far off. She's
Yeah.
always like
a bow and arrow with somebody with Tech 9.
She's never more than 15 feet away from anyone she shoots, and every time it's
I know.
like, come on now.
Right. And then they did a montage of them suiting up, going to get the bad guys, and they did everything in sync.
Yeah.
That was corny.
Very.
So I guess they're trying to say, oh, I'm going to train her how to be like me or whatever. They jumped on the motorcycle at the same time, and they both did this little.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's talk about this last fight scene. I had these clips, and the shit, it didn't record right. So I was trying to find it on YouTube, but they keep giving me commercials, so I ain't gonna bother with the clips. Sorry, guys. Not like anybody cares. But we get our final fight scene, and we got Dominique Parcells, and you know we're gonna have that final confrontation. And Dominique Parcells, man, I don't know. He need to stop playing villains. I think he a good actor, but all he do is charge and yell. Like, ain't this how he do his villains, or ain't this how he do that other character?
Heatwave.
Yeah. So, I'm like, what, man, stop it. It's
I get big guy comes at you screaming, swinging something, holding something, fine.
I guess.
But it's like, there's stunt actors who can do that if that's all you need.
It's just the way he playing is like, dude, you're a dumb villain. You're not.
Yeah,
you're not interested. I can't wait till you get taken out.
And that's like that's one of the only like real problems I have with watching this movie is he's the least interesting villain in the whole franchise.
Yeah. True.
Like he's on the same level in this movie as Triple H.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about Triple H, man. He's a dumb villain.
A dumb villain with a great name.
What's his name?
Jarko Grimwood. That was way too much name for that character.
Right. So, I don't know. They had a final fight scene, and of course they had to do a scene where he's getting attacked by henchmen, because it's kind of a callback to the first one. They did it on the second one, where all these henchmen pretty much lining up, and they coming one by one, and he just working ass. Like, they did that scene, and it didn't really have the punch as the other ones.
Like they even like he pulled his glaive out and he threw it and it went like a boomerang. It's like
okay. I don't even recognize. I didn't even see he did
like,
that.
Okay, cool. Like, and that's one of the problems with this movie is a lot of the stuff that does kind of work is just okay, cool.
Yeah, I know. It's a shame that they didn't get the offset stuff right, because I thought this would have been pretty damn good. Yeah. But I'm telling you like this. I'm gonna defend this movie as far as being bad as all those bad superhero movies. I don't put this in that level.
No.
I put this in not bad, not great, but still not bad. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm not putting this on the real bad ones, the real boring ones. It's things I really like in this.
Like this, like I said, this is actually a very enjoyable movie. You know.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, I like. Of course, Wesley Snipes is always on point when he played this character. It's gonna be hard seeing if Mahershala Ali can pick up where he left off. But I think he can, but he ain't gonna be able to do it like Wesley.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, luckily for him, we've gotten to see at least one other person play Blade now.
Sticky Fingers.
Look, all respect to Sticky Fingers, but he can't possibly do worse.
No, right. Agreed. But so watching this movie, I really liked stuff about it. I really liked the direction they was going. I liked the special effects. I liked the choreography and the fighting. I really liked Wesley Snipes, but on the whole, for a story, it was not a good story, and it's not a good story. Wesley did what he could, and on the whole, for a movie, I just got to give it all right, because narratively, it didn't hold up, and the villain was just so bland and not good. But technically what they did with this movie actually was not even that bad. I liked what they did, and I feel like if they had a little more, if they could get it together behind the scenes, this actually could have built and actually kept going. Could have been another. I would like to see actually another Blade from this one. Anyway, that is my review. That is my rating. I give it all right.
I do have to agree. This movie is a very. I would put this movie use this movie as a teaching tool.
Yeah,
because this is a great example of take what you can get and use it to the best of your ability. Don't you don't have to go and shove CGI down people's throats. You don't have to interject 15 different points of exposition. Just take what you got, get the most out of it.
Yeah, so
and that's how you because you're only ever going to get what you're going to get, so you have to take it and use it. Yeah. This movie is a very enjoyable. All right.
All right, that is our
rating and review.
That is our review. I'm cool. That is our review for Blade Trinity. Not the worst.
Feel free to watch it.
Yeah.
We won't judge.
It's not one of them bad ones, but we're going to have a bad one next week. I'm thinking about doing Catwoman, so the Halle Berry version. So anyway, we're going to move on. We got a lot of stuff to cover. So we're going to do Lovecraft Country. We're going to review that last episode, Lovecraft Country, episode 7. Pull that up. So moving on, Lovecraft Country, episode 7, season 1, called I Am. How did you like this episode, man?
A lot.
You did? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't expecting myself to say that.
Well, this was now I was looking into the book a little bit, and I was saying, so the book introduced Atticus as his main character, right, and it followed kind of like, this is kind of close where the book said, but it followed what happened to a certain point. Then it started to branch off into all the individual characters.
Man, I hate to cut you off. I gotta step out real quick.
Hold on.